Hello and welcome back to Navigating the Periphery. My name is Deborah and this is my handsome son Philip.
Hello.
We hope everyone is having a good day today. If you're into what we're doing on our channel, please reach down and give this video a thumbs up and a like. As you guys know, this is important to us as content creators because the more likes we get, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. And we want to get our message out there and try to reach as many people as we can. Navigating the Periphery, where we're trying to stop the stigma of mental health, one show at a time. If you know anyone who could benefit from watching this channel, please help spread the word.
Remember, it's okay not to feel or be okay all of the time. You are not alone. We're here.
So, Philip, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great today, Mom. How are you doing?
I am good. I am excited to discuss today's topic. Today, we are going to navigate the periphery of media overload in today's world.
We are bombarded daily with news and media, whether it's on television, in movies, or on social media. There are vicious presidential primaries happening, the Israel-Hamas war, the war between Russia and Ukraine, the migrant crisis, the serious uptick in violent crimes, especially here in New York, and the list goes on and on. There is a lot of unrest in our world that, when hit with constant headlines regarding these topics, can be very unsettling to an already unsettled mind, like mine or anyone else dealing with a mental health issue.
Now, we did cover a little bit about the stress that media overload can cause in episode number 3 on how the COVID-19 pandemic affected mental health, and in episode number 6 on how mental health is represented in the media. If you haven't seen those episodes, please check them out. We will link them in the description box below.
In today's fast-paced world, we're surrounded by more information than ever. Through the internet, social media, and smartphones, we can access almost any piece of information we want in seconds. However, having so much information at our fingertips is having big effects on our mental health. Understanding these effects and finding ways to cope with them are crucial if you're diagnosed with a mental illness or any mental health issue.
Information or media overload is characterized by an overwhelming amount of information accessible to us, and it significantly impacts our mental health in various ways. As the volume of accessible data grows through digital platforms, social media, emails, and 24/7 news cycles, our brains struggle to process, analyze, and store this vast amount of information efficiently. Constant exposure to new information can trigger our fight or flight response, leading to elevated stress levels. Trying to stay on top of news, work emails, and social media updates can create a perpetual sense of anxiety. Fear we might miss out on something important.
Or in my case, my schizoaffective disorder causes me to become super hypervigilant. Hypervigilance and information or media overload intersect in a way that can exacerbate the stress and anxiety associated with each, creating a cycle that's challenging to break. Hypervigilance, a state of being excessively alert to potential threats and dangers, often stems from anxiety disorders, traumatic experiences, or high-stress environments. When combined with information or media overload, the effects can amplify, impacting mental health significantly.
Even in people with no mental health issues, this consistent bombardment of information leads to elevated stress and anxiety levels. The overwhelming need to process every piece of information and the inability to do so can create an unstable mental state. People also may end up feeling lost and anxious, struggling to discern what truly matters. The constant noise created by information overload has a collective effect on our minds, developing both anxiety and confusion. The perpetual tension and restlessness can rise, affecting our emotional well-being, which can lead to many psychological discomforts such as mood swings, irritability, and depression.
This can in turn affect our ability to rest and sleep. Our sleep duration and quality are threatened by our constant need to stay informed and connected to the digital world. Our natural sleep schedule is disturbed by the continual use of screens and the blue light they emit, leaving us exhausted with unnecessary stress. A disrupted sleep cycle not only impacts our physical health, but also significantly impairs our mental abilities. The resulting fatigue worsens stress levels, decreases our ability to regulate emotions, and impacts our overall mood, creating a vicious cycle of mental unrest.
A world filled with information from countless sources divides our attention and makes concentrating on singular tasks seemingly impossible. The continuous distractions negatively impact our ability to maintain focus. Then we end up with a decreased sense of accomplishment because it takes us longer to complete the tasks at hand. A fractured attention span restricts our intellectual capabilities, reducing our efficiency and productivity. The struggle to concentrate because of information overload can lead to frustration and an increased sense of being overwhelmed. All of these effects can make the completion of even the most everyday tasks a challenge.
This, coupled with, say, a diagnosis of schizoaffective disorder, anxiety, or depression, can end up being a cocktail for disaster. I already deal with those things on a daily basis, and to have it compounded with even more is not a healthy place to be. And I'm sure I speak to others also suffering from any mental health disorder. I already deal with those things on a daily basis, and to have it compounded with even more is not a healthy place to be. And I'm sure I speak to others also suffering from any mental health disorder. Then there is social media. Social media is a breeding ground for comparison, which can lead to issues with self-esteem. The constant exposure to others' highlight reels can lead to feelings of inadequacy and lower self-worth, feeling discontent, and a distorted perception of reality.
The adverse effect of such comparison on our mental health is serious. It fosters a negative self-image and intensifies feelings of envy and dissatisfaction. This distorted sense of self can permeate, making its way into our daily lives, affecting our behavior, relationships, and overall outlook on life. Because let's face it, everyone wants to fit in and not be stigmatized in any way. And that is difficult when you're constantly seeing highlight reels of beauty, happiness, nice cars, etc. Also, continuous exposure to emotionally charged content, such as news about global crises and rising crime rates everywhere, can lead to desensitization, making us less empathetic. Alternatively, it can also cause emotional overload, making us more susceptible to feelings of sadness or hopelessness.
Addressing information overload involves mindful consumption of media, setting boundaries around the use of digital devices, prioritizing information based on its immediacy and relevance, and dedicating time to disconnect and engage in activities that allow our minds to rest and recover. Unfortunately, young people nowadays seem to depend more on the gratification from likes. And what's popular in social media, more than actual friendships in real life, in real time, I can only hope this practice starts to shift back to how it was when I grew up. Life seems a lot less real now and more virtual. Practices such as mindfulness, spending time with friends and family, and spending time in nature can also help counteract the effects of information overload on mental health.
Regularly disconnecting from the digital world allows us to step back and live in the present, fostering mental clarity and reducing stress levels. A digital detox acts as a mental palate cleanser, giving us the opportunity to reconnect with our environment and the people around us. Ultimately, it helps us refresh our minds. Mindful interaction with technology is critical. Ways to practice digital detox include limiting your screen time.
Funny enough, while we were out to dinner recently, I saw grandparents take and hold their grandchild's phone at the table so they can color, play games, and actually interact with their grandchild. Which is really crucial for a child's development. The bonds I had with my grandparents, I wouldn't change for the world. I think being very conscious of our digital consumption patterns can significantly lessen the adverse effects of information overload, while also promoting mental peace and well-being, and allows for the forging of real relationships with, say, your grandparents or actual friends, not just cyber or online friends.
That brings me to self-care. The importance of self-care when dealing with a mental health diagnosis cannot be overstated. Self-care encompasses a broad range of activities and practices that individuals engage in to promote their own physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Mindfulness and meditation serve as sanctuaries in the chaotic world of information. They help in developing a balanced and focused mind, which is essential in navigating the complex web of data surrounding us. Regular mindfulness practices can provide a sense of stability and peace in our cluttered minds.
Meditation and good coping strategies like listening to music, playing video games, or anything that brings us joy allows us to observe our thoughts and feelings without being overwhelmed by them. This allows us to deal with information overload more effectively, reducing stress as well as enhancing our overall mood. We discuss coping strategies in episode 7. If you haven't watched it, check it out below, as we'll link it here with the other episodes.
Developing positive and supportive social connections is also crucial. Healthy relationships can act as buffers against stress and provide emotional support, strengthening our mental defenses against the potentially harmful effects of living in a world flooded with information. Handling information overload can be overwhelming and mentally draining. Effectively managing our interaction with information is a top priority to safeguard our mental health. Even if you've never been diagnosed with a mental illness or mental health condition, it is essential for us to continually assess, adjust, and moderate our information consumption habits to maintain balance and mental wellness in this era of information overload.
I am exhausted after talking about all this information.
Me too. But it's really such an important topic that involves all of us.
I agree, Mom. We hope you enjoyed our episode today. We hope we didn't overload you guys with information. And please remember, it's okay not to feel or be okay all the time. You are not alone. We're here.
We are here. Please leave your comments and thoughts below. And thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Navigating the Periphery, where we are trying to stop the stigma of mental health one show at a time. So please take care, let us know what you think, and also let us know of any topics that you guys might be interested in that you want covered on our show. We're all ears. Take care, and we'll see you next time in our next episode coming really soon. Bye for now.
Bye.